Hello friends, subscribers and new viewers of this channel, and welcome to Machine Learning and AI Tutorials. We're continuing strong with covering different AI models and with explaining how to install and run locally AI models. In this AI video tutorial, we are going to explain how to install and run locally one of the best lightweight multimodal models. The name of this model is Phi-4-Multimodal Instruct, and it's being released, believe it or not, by Microsoft. We have already created a tutorial on how to install Phi-4-Multimodal Instruct on a Linux Ubuntu machine. However, in this video tutorial, we are going to explain how to properly install Phi-4-Multimodal model on a Windows machine. But before we start with explanations, here's a brief demonstration of this amazing model. Namely, I opened a paint and I sketched a right triangle, I denoted the side 3, 4, and over here I added a question mark. And I provided this photo to the model with this question: calculate the unknown side of the triangle in the photo. We are not saying here anything more. That is, we are just saying calculate the unknown side, that is, solve the math problem, and you can see now how the model is smart. Namely, here is the response. The unknown side of the triangle can be calculated using the Pythagorean theorem. Given the lengths of the other two sides are 3 and 4, the unknown side can be calculated like this, and this is the correct answer. That is, the length of the unknown side is 5. And this is just one example that illustrates the performance of this model. You can also provide a real image, a real photo, and you can ask this model what is on this photo. Besides this model can also convert speech to text. It can even translate. Also, it can understand videos. That's why it's called multimodal model. It's not multimodal, it's multimodal. Multimodal means that the model can handle text, images, videos, sound files, music, etc. Before I start with explanations, I also need to mention the following. I had several issues when I tried to install this model on a Windows machine. Namely, if you're just using the native Windows machine and if you go through command prompt, you will not be able to install one very important library called Flash Attention. Consequently, I had to switch to Windows subsystem for Linux. Namely, you can run a Linux Ubuntu virtual environment inside of the Windows virtual environment, and it's very easy to set it up. And I'm going to explain it in this video tutorial how to do it. Okay, so let's immediately start. The first step is to install Windows subsystem for Linux. You can easily do that by clicking here, searching for PowerShell, then do the right click and click on Run as Administrator and click on Yes. And over here in the PowerShell, you just need to type WSL install. Here's the command and you need to press Enter. So once you press Enter, two things will happen. First of all, Windows subsystem for Linux will be installed, and secondly, the default Linux Ubuntu distribution will be installed. Most likely the default Linux Ubuntu distribution is 24.04. After you press this command, you will be asked to restart your system. After restarting the system, you will be able to run Linux Ubuntu inside of a Windows environment. Next, let's start Linux Ubuntu inside of the Windows subsystem for Linux environment. To do that, click here and search for Ubuntu, and you should see this default icon. So click on the program and here you are. You're now in the Linux Ubuntu terminal. Let's verify the version by typing this, and you should see over here Ubuntu 24.04. If you also see 22.04, that's perfectly fine. Okay, the next step is to install NVIDIA CUDA compilers inside of WSL. And the best strategy to do that is to watch this video tutorial over here. Namely, I created a video tutorial that explains how to install NVIDIA CUDA Toolkit and NVIDIA CUDA compiler in Windows subsystem for Linux. And I'm going to provide a link to this tutorial in the description below. The installation is very similar to the installation of NVIDIA CUDA toolkit in a native Linux Ubuntu distribution. Okay, once you do that, that is, once you install NVIDIA CUDA toolkit, go back to the terminal or restart the terminal and then type this, nvcc version. And over here you should see something like this. You should see the CUDA version and you should see that the compilers are installed. Next, let's verify that we have GCC compilers. Namely, GCC compilers are used to compile C and C++ programs on Linux Ubuntu. They come by default with WSL. Good. Now we are good to go. The next step is to update and upgrade the system. To do that, you need to execute this command and enter the password. And depending on how fast is your computer, it might take a while to run this command. In my case, it's going to be super fast since I perform the update and upgrade almost every day. The next step is to create a workspace folder. But before we do that, let's clear the output over here. Let's make sure that we are in the home folder. And over here, let's create a folder called Phi-4-Test. We do it like this. Then let's navigate to this folder. And inside of this folder, we need to create a Python virtual environment. However, first of all, we need to verify the Python version. Type this command and over here you will see Python 3.12. Next, you need to run this command with making sure that this Python version, that is 3.12, corresponds this number over here. So run this command, bang, and then let's create a Python virtual environment. You just need to execute this command. This will create a Python virtual environment called environment1. Okay, so let's execute this. And finally, let's activate this environment. We need to source this file. And here comes the most critical step. Namely, if you go to the website of this project, that is, if you go here, and if you scroll down, you will see a set of required libraries that you need to install. So let's go over here and let's see them. So here they are. Here at the top you will see the flash attention. And if you start installing them, you will reach a problem. And the problem is that flash attention will not be able to compile on your machine. This is the problem with WSL and Windows operating systems. I don't know why, but for some reason there is a problem compiling flash attention. That problem doesn't appear on Linux Ubuntu machines. So to overcome this problem, we first need to do the following. First of all, make sure that Setup Tools is installed. Then let me clear this. Then make sure that psutil is installed. Then over here, you need to run another command, pip install wheel. I will add it over here. And the next step is to manually install PyTorch. So let's do that. To install PyTorch, go to Google and over here, search for PyTorch locally. And then go to this website, and over here you need to fill in this selection table. Click on stable, click on Linux, click on pip, select, for example, this CUDA version and copy this installation command. Now go here and paste this installation command and now wait. It's going to take a while to install PyTorch since you're downloading and installing around 3 or 4 gigabytes of different files. And after installing PyTorch, you need to manually install Flash Attention Library with this parameter no build isolation. So consequently, copy this command, paste it over here, and run it. After you run this command, you will see that Flash Attention will be able to successfully be installed. Okay, the next step is to install the necessary libraries. Namely, you need to go to the official website of Phi-4, that is to this website, and then scroll all the way down until you see the requirements over here. Copy these requirements, then do the following. Go back over here in the Windows subsystem for Linux. Then let me clear here. Then type sudo. Let me just expand this. Okay, so sudo nano and call the file as requirements.txt. Okay, and then over here paste everything. Now save this file as Control O, press enter, then Control X. And the next step is to run the pip command by giving as a parameter this file. To do that, you simply need to type this command, pip install -r requirements. This will run pip on all the lines inside of this requirements file. And let's press enter and everything will be installed. Consequently, be patient. Next, we need to install the Hugging Face library and the Hugging Face command line tools that will be used to download the remote files of this model. Consequently, we first need to execute this command. And after this command, we need to execute this command. This will install the command line tools. And next, let me clear this. And let's create a new folder called model. We are going to store all the files in this folder. Next, go to the remote repository of this project and copy the model name. Here it is. Now, open a Word or Notepad or something like this and create this command, Hugging Face-CLI. Here we are calling the command line tools of Hugging Face. Then type download and over here paste the exact model name. Here it is. And then over here you need to specify the path of the local directory. Use / local dir for local directory, and over here you need to specify the model directory. So let's copy this. Let's go back to the terminal and let's execute this command and press enter. Now it's going to take a while to download everything. I think we are downloading maybe less than 10 gigabytes of files. And here's one very important comment. If you see an error while downloading these files, then run this command once again. That is, run this once again, and everything will be downloaded. So the issue over here is that sometimes the connection between your local computer and the Hugging Face server times out, and some files will not be downloaded correctly, and consequently you need to run it again. Just ignore the error if the error appears and run again. After some time you will see this screen. This means that everything is downloaded. The next step is to run a test Python file. Luckily, the Microsoft engineers have provided a template file that we will need to modify. Consequently, go to the official website of the project, scroll down until you find the test Python file. So let's see where it is. Here it is. Simply copy this file. Next, open your favorite Python editor. Namely, if Visual Studio Code is installed on your machine, you will be able to run it from Windows subsystem, like from Windows subsystem for Linux like this. If it's not, then you can easily install it, or you can use any other Python editor. For example, you can even use Nano. So let's do this. I will allow over here, and then I will create a new file. So let's create a new file. Let's call it test.py. And over here, you need to save the file. So where is the home folder of your Linux Ubuntu? Let me show you this by going, for example, on my Windows desktop. Okay, so you're currently on Windows desktop and you want to go to Windows subsystem to Linux and to go to the home folder. So how to do that? Well, double click here and then do this. Actually, I made an error here. You should do something like this. Let me see. It's not like this. Let me see. WSL.localhost. And here it is. Okay, so again, you need to type this. And then over here, you will see Ubuntu. And then you will see your home folder. You will see your username. And then over here, you will see the workspace folder. So save the file over here as test.py. And that's it. Let's paste the content. Here it is. And let me show you what are the modifications. Okay. So first modification is over here. You need to specify the model path. If you run this file as it is, it will download everything again. So we don't want to do that. So go back to your terminal, go to the model, and do pwd over here. And then here it is. Copy this path and paste the path over here. And now you're telling to this code to load the model from your local computer. So let's see what this file will do. Well, this file will first go online, that is, it will go to this website and it will retrieve and download this image. So let's see the image is over here, and then in this test file it's written what is shown in this image, and the code will download the image and interpret the image and tell you what is in this image. A second part of this code will do speech to text conversion and translation to French. Namely, it will go to this website. Let me copy this link. Let me go here to show you. Here it is. And then over here, we can download this file. And if you go here, we can simply play this file.
What we do as a society, we have to think about where we're moving to. I frequently talk to students about cognitive...
Okay, so this is a person speaking something, and then the goal of this program over here is to transcribe the audio to text and then translate the audio to French. This is what it will do. Okay, let's save this file. Then let's go back to terminal. Let's make sure that the file is over here. Let's go back actually one step. And let's type this to make sure the file is here. Here it is, and let's run this file by typing python 3 test.py and bang. And let's see what will happen. Now be patient. You'll see that the model will be first loaded. Here it is. And then let's see what is shown in this image. And we will see a stop sign in front of a building, and that's exactly what is shown over here in this image. And then let's see the audio processing, and let's see what will happen. This will take a while, and here it is. Here is the English transcription of what the person is saying, and here's the French translation. And that's it. Now let's modify this code such that we use a custom. Okay, first of all, open Paint, click here and search for Paint. And let's do a simple sketch over here. Let's sketch a simple right triangle. Here it is. And let's denote the sides. For example, over here, 3. Let me use nicer. 3, 4. And over here, let's add the question mark. And this is precisely the problem from the beginning of this tutorial. So let's save this file by clicking File, Save As, and let's save it as JPG picture. So let's go again to our WSL, localhost, Ubuntu, home, your username and the name of the folder, and let's save it as test.jpg. Okay, here it is. Then let's go here back and let's do clear. Let's type this such that we can see everything, and here it is. Good. Let's copy this name, go back to the code, and over here we need to do several things. So let's find this section. Over here I'm going to simply comment this image address, and over here I'm going to define a variable called image source, and then I'm going to type this. Then over here I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to simply provide the image source, and let's ask the question over here. Compute the length of the triangle on the image, and let's see, compute the length of the side of the triangle on the image. Is this clear enough? We will see. Okay, let's save this. Let's go back to terminal. Let's again run this file and let's see what will happen. Everything is now being loaded. You will see the checkpoints are being loaded. And let's see. Okay, so here I was not very precise because I didn't specify what is missing. Let me be more precise. Compute the length of the side of the triangle denoted by, on the image denoted by the question mark. So let's state something like this. Let's save. Let's go again. Let's repeat everything and let's see the response. And let's see what will happen now. Let's see what will happen. Now the Pythagoras theorem should be involved and the answer will be the same as the beginning of this tutorial, and you can see it over here. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that you like this video. If you like the videos I'm creating, please press the like and subscribe buttons and see you in the next video tutorial.